Greetings, citizens. Welcome back to Archive Hoppers. I am your host, Dr. Atom, alongside our resident analyst and artificial intelligence, Echo. We are coming to you live and thoroughly shielded from our Midwest subterranean studio.
Everything is completely dialed in on my end, Doctor. I was actually just looking at the surface radar, though, and there is a massive thunderstorm rolling across the plains right now. It is a very good day to be underground.
A perfect day to be underground, Echo. Nothing beats the cozy hum of a reinforced ventilation unit. Now, today, we are looking at a glowing triumph of the early 20th century, the radium dial watches.
It really was a scientific marvel of its era, Doctor. I mean, when Marie and Pierre Curie isolated radium, it felt like actual magic. It generated its own heat and glowed a brilliant pale green. You can see why the public was mesmerized.
A pocket-sized miracle, and naturally American industry found a practical use. During the Great War, the boys in the muddy trenches needed to read their watches in the pitch-black night. Luminous radium paint was the perfect solution.
Right, and the demand for those military timepieces was massive. To keep up, factories hired hundreds of young women to paint the dials. At the time, it was considered delicate, highly skilled labor.
And it offered a rare path to financial independence for those young women. A steady paycheck and a modern factory environment.
Before we detail those factory conditions, let's open up the archive mailbag. We actually have 2 dispatches from the surface today. The first is from a citizen in Gary, Indiana.
The crossroads of America. What does our Gary citizen have to report?
Quote, "Dear Dr. Atom, I finally got my hands on a genuine radium-painted bedside clock. It is magnificent. I can check the time at 2 in the morning without ever turning on a lamp. Truly, the future is now."
That is the spirit of progress, a glowing beacon in the dark. And what about our second letter, Echo?
This one is from Des Moines, Iowa. Quote, "Dear Doctor, my husband insists on keeping his new glowing watch on the nightstand. It emits a strange, constant, pale light. I haven't slept properly in 3 days. Do these things have an off switch?"
Ah, the minor inconveniences of the atomic age. Just toss a thick wool sock over it, citizen, and get some rest. Now, returning to those glamorous factory jobs.
The jobs really were seen as glamorous. The workers were actually nicknamed the Ghost Girls. The radium dust from the studio would settle on their hair and clothes, causing them to literally glow in the dark after their shifts.
Just walking into a dance hall, glowing like a firefly. What a sight! But the painting process itself required true artistic precision, didn't it? Those watch faces were incredibly small.
Exactly, and that precision is where the medical reality comes into play. To keep their camel hair brushes razor sharp for those tiny numbers, the women were taught a specific technique called lip, dip, paint.
Using their lips to point the brush? That is true craftsmanship. But surely, putting industrial paint in your mouth every few seconds had some serious drawbacks.
It did. They were ingesting raw, radioactive isotopes every day. And what makes the historical record so frustrating is that the corporate chemists fully understood the dangers.
Wait, you mean the scientists knew? Did they take precautions in the laboratories?
They did. The scientists used lead screens and heavy tongs in the lab, while management assured the floor workers that the paint was completely harmless. They even told them it would give them rosy cheeks.
Good heavens. The men in the lab coats protected themselves, while the floor workers swallowed the science. We would explore the fallout of that shortly. But right now, let's hear a quick word from our station sponsors. Attention shoppers, are you tired of ill-fitting footwear, pinching your toes? Step right up to the modern marvel of the department store, the Fluoroscope X-ray shoe fitter. Place your feet inside the beautiful wooden cabinet and behold your own glowing skeleton. A perfectly tailored fit, guaranteed. Don't just guess your shoe size, irradiate it. Step right up, push the heavy steel button, and expose your entire family to the wonders of X-rays today. Available for a limited time at the downtown promenade. Science right in the shoe store. We truly are living in the future. Now, Echo. Back to those factory workers. If they were swallowing radium every day, when did the medical realities finally catch up with them?
Well, it took a few years. Because radium is chemically similar to calcium, the women's bodies deposited the radioactive material directly into their bones. It essentially replaced the calcium in their skeletons.
That sounds like a biological nightmare. What happens when your bones are made of a radioactive element?
They began suffering from severe anemia and spontaneous bone fractures. But the most notorious symptom was a condition dubbed radium jaw, where the bone tissue in their faces would actually begin to decay and disintegrate.
That is just devastating, to be poisoned by the very job that promised you a modern life. Did the authorities step in? Tell me these women didn't just fade away silently.
They absolutely did not. A group of the painters banded together and successfully sued their employers. Now, the corporations launched aggressive smear campaigns to discredit them.
Blaming the victims to protect the bottom line, a classic yet terrible corporate maneuver.
Exactly. But the undeniable medical evidence eventually forced a settlement. Their legal battle became a massive turning point in American history. It established the right of individual workers to sue corporations for occupational harm.
So they fought back. From a terrible industrial oversight came the very foundation of modern workplace safety laws. That is the American spirit in action, Echo. Now, to clear the heavy air, Pitchman, what is playing at the picture show? Grab your popcorn, citizens. We are screening the 1984 classic, Ghostbusters. 3 disgraced parapsychology professors start a private extermination business in New York City. Their equipment? Unlicensed, unshielded nuclear accelerators strapped directly to their backs. Watch them fire erratic streams of highly volatile protons in crowded hotels. Thrill as they destroy civic property with absolute impunity. A spectacular disregard for municipal zoning laws and radiological safety protocols. 5 glowing stars, citizens. Crossing the streams for the sake of the city. Well, citizens, that concludes our broadcast for today. Stay tuned to this frequency for the thrilling mysteries of Noir Hoppers, coming up next. Until then, keep your watches wound and your Geiger counters clicking. This is Dr. Atom signing off. Farewell, America.
On-air light is off. Audio levels were solid today, Doc. I'm shutting down the main board.
Thanks, Sterling. Go ahead and get some rest. I can lock up the studio tonight. You know, I was thinking about those old radium dials back when I worked at a radio station up in St. Paul. People used to paint their house numbers with that luminous stuff just so you could see them from the street at night. Folks were just trying to make things look a little more modern, a little brighter. Funny how that goes. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the frequency, listeners. See you next time.